And hello again to another 1v1 in this lovely game. Today we have DeadlyStrike as the orc player. Up top in pretty green, coming up with the occultist as you are. Versus Vegie as our elf player with the druid. Always happy to see that fella.
She's cool.
Reindeers on the case. See anything wacky? Double hunting, double woodcutter. So an aggressive guardian rush strat with a druid. We'll see how that works out for him. It is pretty potent against orcs, but this is also a very good orc map. Since it's an easy split here. Gives you a lot of time to get your stuff rolling before your enemy usually comes knocking. Which is just enough time to get your stuff running as orc. And be a dangerous, dangerous beast. Poor doggo hasn't received any orders. Just chilling at home. And yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit until our players have settled in. So we're not seeing the upgrade on the Elven Banner here, which I recommend for that strat. Because if you upgrade the forward for one, it's safer. But as an elf, you don't need all the sectors. And this here has all the precious food that you want. But maybe he's just waiting for resources, in fact. Which I think he is. And good. He is going for this one. Instant growth into hunting cabin, I'm assuming. Also, we are producing guardians. One up already. And we have Treen's Grasp, Ellen's Fire, Rodstone, and Obliterate. So, thanks to Raven, Rodstone has been pretty much popularized, since he's been streaming a lot of it. And it's a wonderful spell, deleting buildings. Let's check DeadlyStrike, and pretty classic orc. God Sacrifice, Blood Confluence, Dark Pact, and Death Resilience. The only difference is Blood Harvest, rather than cooldowns or Brute Force. So we're gonna see how that works out for him. I found it to be very weak in the beginning. I don't know if it scales with ability power, but because it doesn't give you numbers. It just tells you. And it also just increases the area. But, I mean, in the late game, if there's a lot of units dying, it probably is worth picking. But early game, not so much. But here we go. Here's the power of the Druid Laser.
The outpost has been built.
Deletes the Lumber Mill straight away. Occultist jumps back in with barely any health. Reindeer's being nice and kited. And he does not have to pull to interrupt the laser beam. So that could spell a little bit of a problem. He does have the level. Could pick Nullify now to deny that. Unfortunately, he doesn't think of it. Might be the first time he comes up against this. Remember, most players in this game are pretty new. It's only out for 2 months. And not everybody has this game mapped out yet. And let's confirm. Yes, indeed. Hunting cabin, groves. Yep, guardians are coming up. So a classic, good old rush strategy. Rush strategy. Well, not the fastest I've seen. Something went wrong there.
The battle goes
Because I do not think he lost the guardian yet. I think the usual rush strategy is get the hunting cabin up first, the third one. Keep producing fully from the main. And then once you have the wood, you grab the grove. And then you do the same on the next spot. Another
building completed.
Wood and another hunting into grove. And then you have the economy to just pump stuff out.
Yes.
DeadlyStrike's up to 4 scoundrels now.
The outpost has been built. Our borders have
See what his
expanded.
attacking order was. So he's got a lumber mill here and a lumber mill there. There's one, here's one, and a little hunting cabin. But yeah, okay, good. He went double lumber there since there's no food in the sector. So he chooses to prioritize the double hunter here. So that's pretty nice to see. Even though you don't really want to play the 10. It's not too bad. It's 10 for lumber mill.
We're under attack.
Still better to have those in the 5 wood buildings, but as long as the economy is fine,
what do you need?
You'll be fine.
Building completed.
So let's see if he's... Oh, looks like he's mostly standing in it. And half his army isn't here. That might be a problem. Oh, actually switches to the ranged attack, which severely reduces their DPS. But it is a ranged attack after all. So it is useful in certain situations. But if you want to go damage, you go melee attack. Because the attack speed gets drastically reduced. I think it's from 0.33 to 0.5. As well as 20 less damage. And for example, the scoundrels and basically pretty much all tier 1 units have higher pierce resist than strike. So it's good to finish things off if they're running away. But otherwise I recommend melee. Let's see what our druid boy is up to. Yeah, he's cooking some gobos. But I don't... Yeah, he's only level 2. So there's not much to it quite as of yet. So the goblins can mostly shrug that off. It does enable the kite game, so if you're insecure with your melee engages and disengages, the bow placement still has its place, especially for sniping out individual units. So my recommendation was more for a straight up fight rather than a Kaitorino. Scouting posts are up. Upgrades the scouting post before finishing his buildings. But he's getting a stone, so that's not too bad. Looks like... Oh no, it's not a sanctum.
Building completed.
What's the stone going for? Oh, 2 better said. Ah, it must be an outpost. Wait. Is it? I'm confused. We have the one grove, which does not cost stone.
Our heroes grew stronger.
For a second I thought Shrine of Thorns, but I'm not too sure. Grabs the potion, so that's pretty big. There we go, lower sanctum, okay. Looks like I didn't spot the upgrade in time. But here comes the Goblin Tide versus the Guardian
We're
Tide.
being attacked.
With 30 versus 58 pop cap.
I wait your command.
28 gobos
Yes.
versus a hell of a lot of druids and a nice split there
Fire, we lost a sector.
between ranged and melee to facilitate more damage. Because if half your guardians are busy running around, they're not doing damage. So a split is recommended once you go over a certain number. Like 10.
Damn it. See, it's more complicated than I thought.
Okay, nothing too fancy otherwise. Just a half woodcutter, which isn't a terrible idea. Yeah, gets the Shrine of Growth 2 here. Second growth is finally up. And I think not producing. Yeah, doesn't have food at the moment. Yeah, it's like a halfway rush opener, so it's a bit weird. He hasn't committed to the full rush, but it's also not really given him enough advantages to make it really worth it. I don't know. It's a safer build in case you yourself get rushed, so you can transition easier. So it's not terrible. He just didn't commit, which isn't a terrible idea, because the faster you get your Wanderers out, the better, and the Iron Mines are coming up indeed. And it's still a respectable
Building
count.
completed.
And the Druid Boy does facilitate it,
Building
because he's a
completed.
force multiplier, especially on harass with his laser beam, but that's a nice attempt here from Deadly Strikes to get some Medusas back, since he is behind in XP. Does have to nullify now, by the way.
Building completed.
So he has been using his brain, which is lovely. Oh, but the pot steals are real. Might lose some guardians here, though. But the goblin roast is real as well. Nicely done here by Vegie. And that's definitely a trade up for him.
I'm ready.
As well as the cultist being pretty low. And he got even more XP, so he... DeadlyStrike should have gotten most of the XP from the Medusas, but since Vegie already had the full Medusa on the northeastern side, it didn't concern him too much. So we're still level 3 versus 4 still. Iron's coming up.
The battle goes on.
Let's see what we're producing. At the moment still Guardians, since the iron isn't coming in yet. And we're lacking some wood there. Grabs the rest of the map until that's sorted.
What do you require? Yes.
I'm gonna check out our orc player. 28. Risen Kalrak is up, so the iron mines are coming in as well. 4 in the middle already. Versus 3 over here. Worker-wise, it always looks impressive with the orcs, but basically 2 of these iron mines are 1 elven iron mine. But they are cheaper individually, but we need a lot of wood for those as an elf. Nice, takes the forgotten path that nobody ever seems to realize exists. Goes for the adamantium golem. Should get the full surround. Tries to dodge something that hasn't happened yet. But I'm very glad to see the Pathfinder still alive at this timestamp. I said and he almost died. And that's a really nice use of the rod stone. Against golems have -20 siege resistance. So you do like roughly 90 siege a second at this stage in the game. Which is pretty damn nice. Nice dodge. So that's gonna put Vegie even further ahead. Good splits. Trying to mitigate some damage. Here comes the beam again. Needs to be careful not to run him out of the ability range. But he's got it.
Heroes grew stronger.
Really nicely done. Level 6. That is gonna be very deadly. And oh, our orc player is a bit too passive now. Looks like he's waiting for his hunters and the critical mass. That could be a mistake. Needs to... Orc players, as orc, you just really need to be active and aggressive, in my opinion. Otherwise, you will most likely fall behind if you just let the enemy do what he wants in an even game. But that is pretty damn spicy. Are we like capitalizing? Like a cheeky tier 3 rush? Not quite yet. What are we getting from the iron? So finally it's coming up. So protect us first. That's gonna help his melee guardians, which is nice. Let's see if we get some
Building
wanderers.
completed.
Looks like we're going to the shop. It's always dangerous to go to the shop alone and leave your army there. Especially if like a vulnerable outpost. Like it's not bad. Especially if he doesn't intend to keep it for now. But if your army is not with your hero, you can't teleport. But you can teleport the hero back. And it's a nice central position, so... But on bigger maps, you do have to be conscious of that fact. But then again, most of the bigger maps, the pathing in the main is atrocious, because they mostly have choke points. So there's bad points to this as well. I'm a bit concerned here.
Yes?
So we've got protectors coming up. Popcap is fine. Popcap is fine here as well.
Await your command.
45 scoundrels. And we're coming in here. It's getting hot. So now you see, compared to the other guardians, these guys get buffed by the phalanx bonus from the protector here, giving them 20% resistances. I also think I don't think we've seen the upgrade yet. But that's a very nice surround. Beautiful. That's a lot of that valuable units. And elf units are expensive. Whereas goblins are not so much. Especially with that orc economy behind it. But that's a nice Allen's Fire. A little bit mistimed. Forgot to place the Allen's Fire before he put down Allen's Wrath. And now that I think of it, I want to make a meme of like the Jurassic Park raptor saying, "Alan hasn't spent points. Points." No, he just leveled up. But it's, yeah, the iron just doesn't come in fast enough. 7 hunters now. They do like to be late to a party. But oh, do we see it now properly? Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be a lot of damage. Ooh, tasty, tasty. And Obliterate level 2 just goes all distance. Druid is one spicy boy. And now with the Rod Stone, he will be also able to go after these mains. Decides to, for now, go just kill the workers here.
We're under attack.
And it's looking pretty damn grim Fandango for our Orc player here. Especially if he doesn't dodge it. Oh no! He just stays. He's gonna get deleted. Our hunter boys do not like the magic damage. That hurt. And yeah, pretty much all the workers are dead. Now goes after the mines themselves. In fact, giving his opponent a little bit more time than he needs to. But okay, brutes are coming up now. Probably, they're an okay choice. They're pretty tanky. 1500 hit points, do decent damage. And they definitely do have their place, but without a screen, they're very often not doing so hot. Alright, let's check the tech. So Veggie's got his refinery up, and the economy buildings are rolling in. His army consists of a lot of wardens, guardians, and more guardians.
Have finished researching a new technology.
And Strike's army, 5 brutes, 8 hunter, no gobos, makes you sad. But has the war pit, has the blood forge, no upgrades yet. Oh my god, needs to spend. Oh my god, that could be so many goblins. Give me that and pump the goblin tide until the sun sets. Because you do need a screen here. And if you have too many, just send them after the economy. Be annoying as much as you can.
Yes?
Let's see, we've got level 4. A little bit of health picked, so nothing too crazy. And if you want to see the druid build, that Vegie went for double deep porters, double Ellen's fire, double Treen's grasps, Ellen's wrath.
Building completed.
Level 2 obliterate, 1 rot stone, and just full brute force, which is pretty damn good. So the thing with Ellen's fire is it's the upgrade, as far as I know, it literally only increases the duration. So the higher you get on the ranks, or better said, the better players you face, you'll probably start not picking the level 2 upgrade because the people are gonna dodge it.
Good.
But it can be good in choke points, especially if you want to zone it out. But generally speaking, cooldowns, stuff like that, is gonna be more prominent. Or the other ultimate, which can just nuke the resistances of this boy, and with a couple of wardens and guardians enraged, he would be deleted. But at this point, this pretty much does the trick. And it does. Hunters are not the fastest of boys. With all that brute power that he has in there, the 20 seconds actually do come in handy.
Completed.
Nah, okay. He's making a case for picking the upgrade. Especially if you have still an attack order, you force the chase through the fire yet again. We'll see. I'll have to experiment myself a little bit with that. But the Orc army is putting up a fight here. 72 to 88 pop cap, but Jesus. Gets impaled. Down he goes. And good evening to you as well, Ramatar. Hope you're doing well. As well as everybody else in chat there. But that was a poor cultist. So Vegie seems to struggle to close the game out. Even though he's got the power! Now he just needs to recognize it. Gets the heart of the forest. Looks like no tier 3. Nope. Hasn't picked this up here for food yet. Or now cheeky tier 3 rush, which I would like to see. Personally. Because I like my tier 3. Especially elf. It's powerful stuff.
Building completed.
But he has a lot of things queued up. So he is spending, which is good to see. Back up to 4 protectors. Which, we do have our arcane smithy, but it's still coming up. Versus Strikes is going to the shop. Gets his armor. Level 2 armor. Oh, can't afford anything else. That's unfortunate. And a little bit more health. Alright, we've got Brute, Drummer, and Pesterer upgrades, as well as the Hunters, obviously. Still no strength in numbers. Feels bad, man. Definitely had the food for it. And after 10 goblins, basically, it paid itself back. Which you will definitely get. No other upgrades yet, either. So, could improve on that account. And just got himself the stone upgrade, in fact. Should probably consider the food upgrade, too. Even though it's probably starting to run out. Yep, he's queuing up new stuff. Good, good, good. But there we go. Drummers being in the mix, giving you a pretty decent hefty buff to your scoundrels. What is that, a 50% buff? I think so. Maybe 33 or something. 25 up to 32. Someone calculate that for me. My quick mouse was broken. By the way, this golem's still available. But our elf boys in blue, but the wardens look pretty decent in blue. The rest of them, debatable. Let's check. Do we have... Yep, we have the tier 3 staff and chest. Some nullification rings. And Noria's command, which is also why you saw that Treant's Grasp doing a hell of a lot of work there. Because stats a ridiculous amount of extra power. It's 85% power, and just look at that reduction in movement speed. Pretty damn brutal. We're now up to 36 damage per second, as well as flat 400 damage, magical damage, on the double explosion.
Building completed.
But that's a pretty big army there. It's almost a 2-to-1 army for the orcs. Which is the place they want to be in. But that's a big nuke. That's... Goblins don't count for nothing anymore. And with that magical resistance on full power, it's an instant elite for these poor chaps. And even the hunters would go down over half their health there. But he pulled it out for now. But the cooldowns are also ridiculously short on the druid, and he doesn't even have any concentration in it. So it's only a 10-second cooldowns for all of these good stuff. He seems to be a bit more afraid than he has to be. He does have the resources and everything to do it. Did have some fire bombs, unfortunately I missed those. And yeah. There comes the obliterate. Ah, look at that. Which can hit multiple times. But 187's on a singular hit against a hunter with minus 25 resist. Which is some damn good damage. And I hope so too, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Oh, poor DeadlyStrikes can't afford anything, and I think that's the 4th hero kill now. Let's see, Vegie. Oh, the Arcane Smithy's finally coming up. Looks like we were very heavily bricked on stone there.
Building completed.
Yeah, we have iron mine upgrades which take stone. So finally... Ah, no, wait. That must it must have gone down here. No, I can't remember if there's upgrades here. But yet again, Alan's fire is doing its job.
Stronger.
And now with all the resistances, 36 pierce, which isn't too shabby. Makes the job for the hunters a little bit worse. And another nuclear explosion. Deletes an entire fleet of goblins. Poor souls. The poor souls. At the cultist. Can he wither the gunfire? Without the tier 3 armor, he cannot. And down goes the rest of the orc army. And GG is called. Well played. Another showcase of the druid power. It is a beautiful thing to behold. But very frustrating if it's like the first time you come up against it. And you're just like, what? What is he doing? Why is it so powerful? Essentially, you have to... What he kind of tried to do is get the nullify on. Be more aggressive on against the economy. If you can. And then you should be okay. But it's still a hard thing to do. I'm not judging. But for the YouTube boys, thanks for watching.